He's out in the garden.
Just weeding.
So, what's going on with this today?
2 nice heads of cauliflower started. We
Do you
got
want to...
broccoli started. No, my hands are black.
Oh, your hand. Let's see those hands.
Just from weeding. I got 2 more rows to weed, which are the tomatoes. I've got all these 4 done. I've only been at it for about 20 minutes, so you can see there's a lot of weeds in some of these. I'm going to, when you weed your bucket gardens, do it after a rain. The weeds come out much easier. What I'm going to do after I'm done weeding these, I'm going to throw a little fertilizer in there because we're supposed to get more rain tomorrow. And that'll help fertilize the plants that are already in there. But you can see we've got blossoms on our peppers. We've got tomatoes on our cherry tomatoes and our big tomatoes. I wanted to at least get the broccoli weeded today, and I can always weed the tomatoes tomorrow.
Mainly because he has a million projects.
Yeah.
And he's helping me. But he's getting things done.
It's not bad, it's not hard. Actually, this is the first time I weeded since we planted. I pulled up a few,
But this is the way to go. You don't get the bugs. You don't get all the problems that come with planting it in the ground. Rabbits, animals, deer. Everything is healthy. The worst you have to deal with is some weeds, which are not many. In fact, I've got some ideas for my husband to do things for me. Of course, my list grows longer every time I think about it, so I don't want to overwhelm Clay, so I try not to ask him to do anything unless it's really something important, because I could have him working all day. But look at that beautiful broccoli. Is this broccoli, right?
Yeah.
Just to make sure it's
broccoli, yeah.
not cauliflower.
Cauliflower's over here.
Because
This row is all cauliflower.
this is cauliflower. Okay.
We have 2 nice heads starting.
Okay, we'll come over and check that out. And when you pray, guys, pray for my hand. It's been really hurting really bad. And
because it's broken, dear.
I know. So just keep me in prayer because, I'm anxious to get things started and get things going. And
you're not going to be out of that cast for the middle of July. So.
And plus, then I got to take it easy because last time I feel like I didn't do the things I was supposed to, and I learned my lesson.
Did you see the cauliflower heads?
Yeah, let's go over and
There's one.
Let's go and check that out.
One down in there.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
And there's another one down that way somewhere.
Let's see if we can find
I
him.
can remember.
There's a little baby one in there. I'm looking.
But you can see how nice they look after they've been weeded, and it gives the plants more energy because the weeds aren't taking the nutrients out of the soil. I have to be careful in here because I've got an onion planted in here too, so I don't want to pull him up.
It's making me hungry.
For weeds?
No, for food.
What I do is I put my hand up there and I weed around the plant first. And I throw the weeds right on top of this tarp, and that way the sun can burn them up. If I threw them out in the lawn, they do nothing but just keep growing. But it's not hard weeding this, but you always want to make sure you do it after a rain. Makes it so much easier.
My feet will be black.
When you're dropping them on your feet.
That's okay. I've been wearing sandals, and let me tell you, showering with one hand, trying to keep everything, meaning your feet, clean when you're walking around with sandals, because it's easier to put on than socks and shoes. But you just deal with it. Get yourself cleaned up.
All right, I got one more over there. So.
That's why God made the water hose.
Yeah, he did. In the rain.
And the rain. There's butterflies out here. Pretty butterflies.
But you can see how fast I'm weeding the garden. It's like little or nothing. I don't have to use a hoe or a rototiller or anything else. Now, once I weed this, I shouldn't have to weed it again till probably first or second week in August.
And it's June.
Yes, this is the end of June. Matter of fact, it's the 26th of June. Skip over those tomatoes, and I'm going to do them tomorrow after the heavy rains. I'll do them Sunday morning. See, they seem to have a few more weeds. But
So what are your plans today? I know
well,
I kind of
I have to finish up that bee stand and get it placed so I can paint it.
Do you want me to paint one-handed?
No, I'll paint. So big deal. Still got a barn to paint, but the priorities are first.
Feels nice out today, doesn't it?
It's really nice. That's why I wanted to do this while the shade was on the garden and the soil was still wet. I came out to check my troughs. They're a little low, but if it's supposed to rain, there's no sense me filling them up with city water or anything. I'll just let the rain fill them up. The rain will go down through the buckets and fill the troughs up. This broccoli looks like it's going to go to flower before it goes to a head to eat.
Do you want to cook dinner, or am I doing it?
It doesn't matter.
Well, did you want to use that new grill?
No, I want to use that on pancakes first.
We won a giveaway on YouTube. I believe it was Blue Odyssey.
See how this is getting little flowers on it? That's not good.
So thank you to them.
All right, let me get the last three of the broccoli. Start on this end.
We'll have more
Broccoli's
about
looking good, though.
we'll have more about that later. We actually won 2 giveaways. One, and I have to, this is just something I'm just going to mention here. One we didn't contact back in time, but they were really sweet and said that they would send us something anyway, and I just said no, thank you very much, but we didn't follow the rules, so that wasn't fair to the other people. But I mean, they were going to send us something, probably consolation to be kind or something, but I mean, I'm sure they weren't doing anything. Like, they were still being respectful of their followers. They were just going to send us something to be nice. But, so if I seem a little unclear about that, that's why. He's doing good on this.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to weed your pots out. Just want to make sure you get down to the roots, that's all. Shake the dirt off them back into your planter. Okay, that one's good. I got 2 more. Phew, that tomato's almost plucked out already, so that won't be hard to clean up tomorrow.
But our weeds, I
Should
think,
be
too, are
Sunday.
a little bit more than maybe if you used just straight potting soil, because
Well, because we reuse the
we
soil.
reused our soil. So
And the
that's,
weed seeds are already in the soil. Unless you bake the soil, which I'm not going to that much trouble.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Plus, it's kind of relaxing to check on your plants, too.
Well, you walk out here and you find a weed, you pull it up out. I mean, if you could stay on top of it, you wouldn't have this. But I've had so much going on that I can't stay on top of it. I try.
And we did get rain yesterday.
Not
If you
much.
saw our previous video.
That's the only reason I'm doing this today, because the soil got a little wet.
We haven't had rain in weeks.
About 3 weeks.
Yeah.
This will probably be the 4th week. I don't think we got hardly any all the month of June, if I'm not mistaken. Usually we get dumped on over here.
Isn't it fun watching Clay weed?
Yeah.
It's actually relaxing for me. I'm enjoying it because I'm the one filming, guys. It's me, Ruthie.
But you see, I haven't put a lot of effort into this weeding. I mean, it's getting my back a little bit, only because I have a bad back anyways. But I don't try to focus on that. I try to focus on what I have to do. I worry about my back at the end of the day when I'm sitting in my chair relaxing. Okay, that one's it. One more. But you can see how nice the plants are coming up nice. We're getting some nice broccoli on the top. We've got some, these are Jet Stars, and these are Better Boys, tomatoes. Now the stalks are so well, I already took the suckers off. Well, here's your sucker here. Now, a sucker is one that comes up between the branches, and all they do is that they take away from your plant the strength. You want to take any of those blossoms off, or any of those branches off, and you also want to take off any branches that are touching the grass or the ground, because all that's doing is giving you a chance of your plants getting destroyed by the bugs, if there is any, and the soil rotting in your plant. You don't want that to happen either. So you always want to take your suckers out. And here's a big sucker right here. See how the main stem comes up and the branch comes off, and this comes out between the branch and the stalk? You just snap it off.
Now, if you took that and tried
If
to
you
start...
stuck this into dirt right up to here, you'd get a whole new tomato
Should
plant.
you just save it for Russell?
You can have them if you want them.
Yeah, he'll want all that. We'll just set it. Is there a place you can set it?
Right there for
There we
now.
go. Just set them all in one spot.
Right
We'll
now,
start doing that for him.
he wants grapevines, though. He didn't like tomatoes.
So we just give them to him for plant starts. My son is really into the gardening. He works a lot of hours and it's tough, but
Well,
he's into it.
he grew up, all he wanted to do was play World of Warcraft and things like that, and he never wanted to get in
Well, he was a
to
city
learning
boy.
any of this. But now that he's married, he wants to learn how to do all this, so it's fine.
Yeah, they just
I'll
bought
teach him what I can.
they just bought a house last year, so he's real excited and he's asking, and so he seems really conscientious of it too. So we
Yeah,
just-
but he's at the point where he doesn't understand that they don't just pop up overnight.
right. Well, it takes a while, but it's a good. You know, if you're young.
I'm glad he's getting interested.
Yeah, if you have a house and you've never gardened before, take a chance. I mean, the worst thing that can happen if you
Is
buy,
you don't get anything.
right, or if you buy plants at the wrong time of the year for any reason, it's a learning experience and they'll just come up later. I mean, I've done all kinds of stuff. I've planted gladiolas in the middle of August and they'd come up the first year, and the next year they'd come up when they're supposed to. There's no rules. It's like, who makes the rules? I mean, there are some
God
things.
makes the rules, but
Right, but I mean, there's some
you
good
want to learn.
practices.
The best way to do is do it yourself. Try it.
Exactly. You're never going to learn if you always have,
You
know.
can hear other people's ideas and that, but your own experience is your best teacher.
One of the reasons I like the bucket system, it's a little bit like my house plants, is You can move them around if they don't like their area.
Yeah, if this is too sunny for this broccoli, I could move this whole pot down to the other end.
Or even, we used to have 2 systems, didn't we, at one time?
But as you can see, these plants are chest high. When they get up where they're supposed to be, they'll be up over my head. And I'll be picking the tomatoes right from my waist. I'm not bending over to pull the branches out of the way and pull the tomatoes. You can see they got some nice tomatoes started. These are the salad tomatoes, the sandwich tomatoes. I still got to weed eat around the garden, but
yeah,
the weeds aren't overpowering the plants. You just pull them out or weed them down. All right, I'm going to go and take a long drink break.
and my plant buddy just phoned me. She got a peace lily
Oh, that's good.
and something else.
But there's
We have lots of plant buddies that are on the
These,
phone with us all day. What are you growing? What are you doing?
now, if you're not getting the rain on a regular schedule, you can water the tops of these buckets, and the water will go down through the buckets into the trough, and you could weed them the next day if you haven't had rain in a long time like we have. But we got a nice little rain yesterday, and I wanted to pull the weeds out while I could. So you're still going to find a couple small ones every now and then that you've missed. But it's much easier to do it while you check your water every day. As long as you've got water in these troughs, you're in good shape. If the plants look like they're wilting a little bit, water them before you go in for the evening. I always like to water mine in the evening. Sometimes I don't get that chance. Sometimes it's still pretty sunny out here.
I like the
So I
flowers.
come out in the morning. Yeah,
Aren't they cool?
those are the Fooled You jalapenos. They're jalapeno peppers with no heat.
That we got from the grocery store and
Yes.
decided to plant them.
I'm going to save seeds this year. I'm not going to spend. We spent about $6 or $7 a piece for these things, and
We didn't buy them this year, did we?
yes, we did.
We bought plants this year?
the 4 jalapenos we did.
Oh, okay. But my son ended up taking up all the seeds, which is good.
The cucumbers are coming up nice.
Yeah,
The beans are really taking off.
they look great.
All right, I've got to go wash my hands. I think I'll do that at the...
Wash your hands. There's soap on top of that thing there, or in the greenhouse. Okay, yeah, it's just gonna. Usually we wash our hands. There's soap out here. There might be soap up there too. In the bucket, we just have a hose, and we also collect rainwater in the wheelbarrow. It depends if we're using it or not. Okay, guys, like, subscribe, and remember, big or small, you too can be a backyard farm.